Here's a look at the top free agents from Pete Prisco with new teams. I've seen the graphics here updated, so I wanted to make sure there. I was just double checking, making sure what I saw. Jaylen Watson coming in at number 4 for Pete Prisco. Rams replacing the Chiefs logo. We're talking about 3 years, $51 million for him. This after the Rams making a deal for Trent McDuffie on a 4-year, $124. They also re-signed safety Cam Curl to 3 years, $36 million. Pete, I'll give you first word. Les Snead and company targeting a deficiency and a weakness from last year. Again, trying to give it a Super Bowl go.
It was awful. It's the reason they didn't make the Super Bowl last year. They had all kinds of problems down the stretch at secondary, particularly corner. They didn't tackle very well. They gave up a lot of big plays. And let's not forget, they also brought back Quentin Lake on a big deal before that. That happened in, I think, December. He got hurt. They struggled. He came back. He wasn't the same player. But I like what they've done. You had McDuffie and Watson. I think Watson had a fantastic year for the Chiefs last year, and it clearly upgrades what is a weakness. Now, all of a sudden, you can turn those pass rushers loose. You're going to have good coverage on the back end. It's obvious what they're doing. Here we go. Stafford's got 1 or 2 more years. We're going all in to try and win a Super Bowl with them.
And I agree with the move, too.
Me too.
I mean, to your point, you get Matt Stafford back, and you go report to the front line. It's on, boys. It's on. Stafford's back, and he's fired up about it. You think about that rush group. I call them the rush men there in Los Angeles, their front four. They can win in a number of ways, inside or outside, not just finesse guys. They cave that pocket. You marry that type of rush with coverage on the back end. Oh, it's chef's kiss defense. And I hate defense, but I appreciate that.
Man, the Rams love the Chiefs secondary. Think about this. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to draft you. You're going to play the most man-to-man in the league. You're going to win multiple Super Bowls, and then you have to go somewhere else to get paid and pay those L.A. taxes. That's okay. They both got big bags. They can afford it. But the quickest way to lose a Super Bowl or lose a game is bad corner play. So I don't know who's playing corner for the Chiefs. They don't have one on the roster right now. They literally do not have one. The Rams got 2. They got both of the Chiefs' big-time corners. Obviously, McDuffie the highest paid. Then go get his running partner. I love bringing the pair together. They're going to shore up the secondary quickly, and they're going to lose less games because the ball's don't get thrown over their head as easily. 2 vital positions. The Rams clearly see something the Chiefs don't, because the Chiefs haven't paid any of their corners in a long time.
I think the big thing, too, is who are these guys going to go against every day in practice on the other side of the ball? Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams. It's going to make that side of the ball better. Playing in that conference, playing in that division, I like it for the Rams.
We got to wrap things up and move topics, Pete, but you still think the speed is something that's needed on that Rams
offense, offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
They need to get some speed. By the way, real quick, remember they traded for Jalen Ramsey and won a Super Bowl. So they went and got a corner and won a Super Bowl. So they've done it before. And they also, you talk about Chiefs, they got Marcus Peters, too, once upon a time from the Chiefs.
Wait, but you don't like paying free agents, but the Rams make these trades and pay all these free agents, but you like that they're so.
This is what they needed.
They needed it.
Yeah, they're getting.
And they don't draft corners.
They don't draft corners. They never draft corners.
They draft D linemen.
Yep.
And then they get them. They don't have first picks, Les Snead there in L.A. as well. Pete, I'll start with you here. Demario Davis to the Jets, 2 years, $22 million, $15 annually.
In talking to people up there, and we know a lot of people there, they wanted to get older on defense, and they wanted to get more experience. They had a lot of young guys. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. You go get a Demario Davis, and he is one of the great locker room guys in the NFL. That's what they needed on that side of the ball. It makes sense. And so I like that move. It's just, again, what are you getting? Because he's getting way up in the years. He's not a kid. He goes back to a team he was once with, by the way.
It all started.
Yeah.
And I look at Demario Davis. For those that don't know this guy might spend $1 million a year on his body. Like, he has an unbelievable regimen to stay healthy. He has played well for a long time. The last 6 years of his career were better than the first 6 years of his career. He's that type of longevity guy. If you're talking about can play up in years, Demario Davis is a true precedent of the hard work, and he gets another bag at 35 years old or something like that. He's still getting paid, still playing good ball. He's going to be a leader there in New York.
I was on this Saints team in 2024, got to be around Demario a little bit, see what type of guy he was in the locker room. Pete, you hit it on the head. This dude is, you know where he's at. He's like a thermostat.
I like thermostat.
Thermostat.
I love thermostat.
Check me on that. He's like a thermostat. You know where he is. If he's hot, the room's hot. If he's cold, the room's cold. So I think Aaron Glenn, there's a clear emphasis on what they're trying to do up there. Minkah Fitzpatrick yesterday, Demario Davis today. So they're shoring up that side of the ball.
What are they going to do at quarterback? That's the question.
Which they need to score points. They also need to get some turnovers, which they weren't able to really do last year.
Quarterback
with
or
great
corner?
efficiency.
Got to have somebody throw the football.
Yeah,
Mac Jones.
Who?
Giving up a second-round pick for Mac Jones.
Why
Nor would
not?
I. Nor would I.
By the way, Davis, $15 million guaranteed. That ain't what we talked about. Lastly, Alex Anzalone to the Bucs, 2 years, $17 million. Logan,
Guys all over the field.
Thor, we call him Thor. I love the blonde hair out of the helmet. He can still ball. This guy trains in Tampa, familiar with him. He had a pretty big market. He's able to stay in Tampa where he lives right now, and he's obviously going to be in that position in the secondary, in the linebacker room. Is going to make a decision about Levante David, right? Because they play similar positions. But Alex Anzalone is your modern-day backer that's athletic and can run with the tight end. He can run down the field, but he's a pro's pro. I think Todd Bowles is going to love him. He's going to love Todd Bowles there in Tampa.
All right, we got some news here. JJ's been standing by here with Kobe Bryant. JJ, Seattle to where?
To Chicago, Tommy. Kobe Bryant, the Seattle Seahawks safety, Super Bowl champion. Kobe Bryant heading to Chicago. So he's joining forces there with Dennis Allen's defense. Of course, they have Jaquan Brisker back there. What's this mean for Kevin Byard? I know that plenty of guys on this desk can talk both about Byard and about the Chicago Bears here. But Kobe Bryant now going to Chicago. They had made him a priority. The Seahawks, are they going to keep anybody? Do they want to keep anyone? The answer to that very quickly is that the Seahawks very much believe in what they do. And look, they've won 2 Super Bowls across different regimes, right? And so they can always reimagine. Question about them, they let their guys go test free agency. And so we will see ultimately if they're able to retain a Boye Mafe, for example. But Kobe Bryant going to the Chicago Bears.
All right, JJ, certainly appreciate it. Kyle, a resident Bear. I know Jaylen Johnson, part of the secondary, missed a handful of games as well. What are we thinking about them?
I think they have one of the most talented secondaries in football, but if you look at their production over the course of the last few years, the big issue has been availability. And you mentioned the guy Jaquan Brisker there, Jonathan Jones. That's a good name to know because heady football player. He's all over the field. He plays like the Tasmanian Devil. But sometimes he ain't out there because his head gets a little too involved in the wreckage. So you bring in a guy like Kobe Bryant, he's going to have the ability to be available for the Bears. Kevin Byard, veteran leader in that room, somebody that a lot of the young guys look up to. Great question there. What happens with KB as well? But I like the move.
Well, Kevin Byard better stay there. He's been nothing but available, and he's led the league in interceptions when he was there last season as a first-team All-Pro. So moving Kevin Byard because you signed Kobe Bryant doesn't make sense to me. I think this may be more on Brisker, or they might try to run a 3-safety thing and use that safety position in the nickel or whatnot. But I think Kevin Byard is a huge need for the Chicago Bears to try to repeat the success they've had.
Great dude, too.
Yeah, I think Brisker's out. I think he's a free agent, so I think he's done, and I think they've made the choice to go to Kobe Bryant. And by the way, Kobe Bryant, former corner, who gives them more range on the back end. And you look at their defense, they give up a lot of big plays last year. They were 29th in the league. They struggled. They don't rush the passer that well. They struggled on the back end as well. I think for all the talk of all the talent there, they really weren't that good. This will give them some range on the back end.
A lot of shootouts last year, Ben, right?
They have a lot of talent. They weren't good. They weren't available. Jaylen Johnson was out. Jaquan Brisker was in the concussion tent more often than not.
Wright's a free agent.
All of this is true,
Yeah.
Pete.
There's a young Seattle Seahawks fan that woke up today on free agency and is thinking that the Seahawks were going to get better after winning a Super Bowl and is finding out really fast that NFL and free agency, if your team gets to the top, coaches, players, they're going to go get money different places. So good for these guys, but it's crazy. Once you get to the top, it's kind of just rebuild, let's start again. But good for these guys going getting paid, going getting money.
And if there's going to be one of those GMs that can do it, John Schneider, I think they would have faith that 12's in there.
Even though he once traded 2 number 1s for Jamal
Nobody's
Adams
perfect,
back
Pete.
in the day. They all make mistakes.
Yes, they do, and you're there to calculate and chronicle all of them that happened here for CBS Sports. All right, we're up against a break here, folks, but just a reminder about what the calendar is for the NFL in terms of the 2-day negotiating window, free agency happening on Wednesday, owners' meetings in Arizona, and then if you haven't noticed over the last handful of years, the league has been rotating some of these draft parties. This year it's in Pittsburgh, tends to be the colder weather cities that don't get those Super Bowl invites.